Now, had that been me, I would have said, damn. I got all these blessing promises. I did exactly what the guidance said, and now we're starving to death. What's up with that? And so, see, he had to be very upset. And so what that tells me is this. You may be on a spiritual journey. You may be doing everything right, and you may lose your job. You may be doing everything right, and your wife leaves you. You may be doing everything right, and your dog runs off with another dog. You may be doing everything right, and you may lose your hair, and there's no cure for it. So what does that mean? It means that's just part of the journey. And so this guy was doing everything right. He's a father of the faith. I mean, he's got, father of the faith and neon signs over his tent. He's the big guy. And yet there's a famine. So what does he do? He goes down to Egypt. And when he gets down to Egypt, he says, I need to stay here for a while. And then he says, are you enjoying this story? Okay. Yes. Because it gets really juicy right here. He's about to Egypt, and he looks at his wife. Now, if I'm not mistaken, he's 75, so she's about 65, but she is one hot woman. She's hot. And he says, Sarai, you are one hot woman. And if the Pharaoh sees you, he is going to steal you away from me, and he's going to cut my throat. And I don't want to die, honey. So let's just tell everybody you're my sister. And that way they won't kill me. And she said, yeah, but then if I'm your sister, he might take me and put me in his harem. Well, let's not worry about that. I just don't want to get killed. Now, does that sound like the father of faith? I mean, see, that's not good. Even I wouldn't do that. And so that's what he's doing. And so then he gets there, and sure enough, Pharaoh says, who is that woman? Bring her over here. And he puts her in the harem. And the night comes where he's going to greet her in the traditional Egyptian way. Abram, I don't know what's up with Abram. He is over in the corner saying, Lord, I hope they don't kill me. I mean, he's not the hero at this point to me. But then what happens is the Pharaoh's about to make his move, and he's struck with something. Now, it doesn't tell us what in this verse. Later it tells us. It just says he's struck with something, and all the other men in his court. Do you know what he was struck with? Hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids. God loved giving hemorrhoids to people. You can check it. Look it up. I mean, somebody's worshiping an idol, bam, hemorrhoids. All kinds of stuff like that. And so hemorrhoids takes you out of the mood to go to the harem. So in that sense, it was a good thing. And then the Pharaoh says, wait a minute, something spiritual's going on here. These hemorrhoids just don't look right. And so he says, somebody has put a curse on me. Somehow it comes to Abram. He said, what did you do? And he said, well, I thought you might kill me, and so I lied and said she's my sister. And he said, look, you get your wife and everything else and get out of here. So that's what he did. So my point is,
did the hemorrhoids go away?
The hemorrhoids did go away without any kind of ointment at all. Just disappeared. So then, the point is, you see, you can have great faith. Listen to this. You can have great faith, and things may go wrong in your life. You may have great faith, but sometimes be struck with total fear, because that's what he was doing. He was afraid. Faith and fear are the opposites, and so he was really trapped in all of that. And so it's kind of making I mean, there's some many interesting things to me as you read about that, but I'm not going to go through all of that. But it means sometimes trouble happens. It means sometimes recessions come. Doesn't mean you're not in faith. Recession is profanity on the news. They talk about something and they say, and the recession is to blame. I heard that all week. This happened, the recession is to blame. That happened, the recession is to blame. Recession is to blame. Recession, we have to understand, from an overall perspective, recession doesn't destroy prosperity. Nothing can destroy prosperity. It's like a pendulum. And if a society, this is coming from spiritual traditions, not from me, but if a society swings into greed and selfishness, recession comes. You know what it does? It pulls it back the other way. Because the universe is in the balance. So I don't fear recession because it swings the other way and then there's abundance. But if it goes too far and it becomes too much greed, it moves the other way. So that's how life is, like this. Because you have faith doesn't mean life is going to quit swinging. And so you have to know that. Some people think, oh, if I have faith, everything's going to be perfect. But in a sense, everything is perfect, but everything's sort of swinging.